All right, I thought I'd make a quick video about this new radio system I'm using. It's a Graupner MZ-24. It's a 12-channel transmitter. For DLGs, I used a 6-channel receiver and an 8-channel receiver. They both seem to work okay. The 6-channel is a single antenna. The 8-channel is dual antenna. Talk a little bit about ergonomics. It fits in your hand really well. I do put a little tape on mine, non-slip tape. You can see right there that I grip. This is just to hold a wind indicator. And the models now come with a momentary switch right here on the left shoulder, which is perfect for right-handed DLG thrower. I'm going to go over quickly how I have my radio set up, and then some of the things you have to do in here to make that work. My launch preset is, of course, this button that gives the wing. The wing has reflex when I have this selected, and lots of up elevator. I launch. As soon as the plane rotates to vertical, I let go. When I do that, the first timer starts, and if you can see, that gives me a flight time in that window. This other timer, in a contest, I will start it when there's 5 seconds to the window. In a 10-minute window, I'll start it, and then it'll count down. That way I can look at my transmitter any time and see how much time is left on the window. And then the stop and restart are the same spots. So if I'm going to do a quick turnaround and relaunch my plane, and I hit the launch preset, of course it goes to 0. I let go. You hear timer 1. It launches, starts timing again. I hope you can see that. And then I have, if this switch, if you can see this switch, if it's down like that, that's my zoom essentially. I'm going up in a straight line. The wing is still in reflex. The elevator's trimmed for 0 lift, so it's just flying in a straight line. As soon as I get to the top, I flip this switch to either the middle or up. It doesn't matter as long as it's not down. And then that gives me control on this 3-position switch. All the way down is thermal mode. The middle is a cruise, and the top is a speed mode essentially. Very similar wing camber as the switches over here, just a little bit more up elevator, so I don't. There's a little more stability in that mode, I guess is what you call it. Could be the wrong term, but it'll recover a little from a dive. The middle switch is cruise. That's for the snipe wing, even camber or no camber, even with the tab. And then on thermal, I'll show you about how much camber I have in the wing for thermal. My thermal mode over on this side switch, I can adjust. I can give it more. That's normal. That's 0, and then I can actually take camber out by moving it up. I don't even know if you can see that, but that's this switch right here. Flaps are on this stick, like you'd normally see, and I think that's about it for plane setup. Some of the things that you have to do, as you notice, the screen looks really nice. It's very bright and colorful. It's all touch screen, so if I touch that menu, it brings up a lot of menus that you're probably already familiar with. Nothing too unique about those. You set up your timers and sub-trims and channels. You can assign any channel to any output. It's kind of nice that way. In function, well, let me go back. So in channel set, of course the ailerons are on the stick. One thing that I do, I set my DLGs up as glider with 2 ailerons and 2 flaps, even though it doesn't have any flaps. I do that so I can use some of the other menus that come along with that. So on flaps 1, in order to set wing camber in the other menus, you need some switch that turns that on or that gives it 2 different positions. it would be logical to put it on this switch. You'd have one camber setting there, and then when you flip it back here, for all these other flight modes, you'd have a different camber setting. Doesn't work that way with this radio, because it views this position the same as this position, so you only get one position. The fix for me is to use the flap switch, which is this one right here, ST1, and this is how easy it is to assign a switch to to whatever function. You just select it and move what you want to move, and it selects that switch. Now if I wanted to put it on a switch, I could flip that switch and it goes to switch 2. That's not what I want though. I do want it over here. That's how easy it is to assign a switch. So let's go back, let's run into function. So this is where that comes into play, is where you set your wing cambers in that menu, and it's different for each of the conditions. The conditions are Q links. I've got cruise, launch preset, launch thermal, speed. There's one more, but I don't use it. Next, that's an open condition that I don't use for DLGs. Then you can assign switches. That's where you would assign all these switches to these different modes. And everything else is pretty straightforward. It has a nice, on the butterfly, well, let me go into the butterfly here. You can set up a pretty nice curve for your butterfly elevator to flap compensation, and it works pretty good. Let's see, what else are we going to look at? Everything else is pretty straightforward. In this function, in this, I'm sorry, it's over here. In this one, this menu, you can go into the telemetry. You can set your telemetry for your receiver or any other device you might have hooked to your receiver. And you can change your warnings and set points for alarms and whatnot. So that's the radio in a quick, hopefully short video. Shows you which mode you're in, launch preset, launch. I get over the top, I flip up into thermal or kind of float. Well, let me show you my plane. I'll show you the camber, how the camber changes for each of those modes. I'm assuming you can see this. I hope you can see it. So that is that is my thermal mode, and when this adjustment over on this left slider, you can see how much I go almost even at the top. That's where I float around normal, and I might go that much in a good thermal. And then of course this is cruise, and then this is that speed mode. Launch preset is right there. It's you can't see it, but it's the elevator that changes. So that's about how much reflex I have in my wing as I zoom up after launch. Anyway, oh, I didn't show you that menu, but I also have snap flaps essentially. So when I give up elevator, I get a little bit more camber. When I give down, I get a little less camber. I kind of like that mix, but it's not necessary. But, well, it is necessary. I like it. I think it helps me. So your mileage may vary, I guess. And that is, that's the plane in a nutshell. Or not the plane, my radio. Give her a try. It's a really nice radio. I like it.